Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister Tourism and Culture, Shri Ashok Chandra Panda has just reached the venue. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to him on behalf of the HRAO community and would request him to please join us on dais with all other esteemed dignitaries. Dr. Nitin Bhanudas Jawale, Director Tourism, and we also have with us Shri J.K. Mohanty, Chairman HRAO, and Mr. Debashish Kumar, MD Victoria Club Hotel, Puri. We are expecting the Additional Chief Secretary and Development Commissioner, Shri R. Balakrishnan, to join us in a very short while. Of course, as is the traditional and customary practice, we would like to present bouquets to all our dignitaries on dais. So, could I request Mr. Shankaracharya Pradhan to please come up on dais to present a bouquet to our Honorable Minister Tourism and Culture, Shri Ashok Chandra Panda. Thank you. Could I now request Mr. Syed Rahim to present a bouquet to Dr. Nitin Bhanudas Jawale. Thank you. We'll now request Mr. K. Mohanan to present a bouquet to Shri J.K. Mohanty. We'll request Shri Srinivas Subudhi to present a bouquet to Shri Debashish Kumar. Thank you. Could I now request everyone in this hall to please rise for the state song, Bande Utkara Janani.
Bande Utkara Janani. Vande Utkala Janani, Vande Utkala Janani, Charu Bhasamai, Janani, 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 Vande Utkala Janani, Bhuta Payoti Vidhauta Sarira, Tara Mara Susobhita Tira, Suprakatini Kula Sikara Samira, Janani, 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 Vande Utkala Janani, Sundara Mandira Mandita Desa, Charu Kala Badi Sobhita Besa, Punya Tirtha Jaya Purna Pradesa, Janani, 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 Vande Utkala Janani, Kavikula Mauri Sunandana Bandya, Bhuvana Vibhosita Kirti Anindya, Dhanne Punne Chira Saranye, Janani, 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 Vande Utkala Janani, Vande Utkala Janani, Vande Utkala Janani.
Thank you everyone.
It is a privilege to welcome amongst us Honorable Minister Tourism, Culture, Odia Language and Literature, Sri Ashok Chandra Panda. In spite of having a very hectic day throughout, several meetings, he came out from the middle of a meeting and has to go back to another meeting. We are grateful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time to be here at this third Odisha Tourism Conclave. Sir, during this entire day of deliberations, we had many sessions on ecotourism, on marketing, on branding, on infrastructure, on advertisements, many such things. Many recommendations have come. With your busy schedule, we would not be able to speak everything together, but I'll just give the highlights of today's deliberations. And all the recommendations shall be compiled and presented to the department for consideration. And so that in the future, while making the tourism policies and decisions, these recommendations could be incorporated. These recommendations are from the experts in various fields who are here today. We are also thankful to the media who have, the travel trade media who are here from Delhi and Mumbai, who are guests of the tourism department. And we are thankful to all of you for being here throughout the day and patiently listening to all of us. Thank you. So some of the recommendations that have been made during the day is, I will start from the inaugural session, where a proposal to the state government has been made to spend at least 20% of the budget on promoting newer destinations through digital marketing, technology and social media. The other suggestion is to focus on research to appropriately promoting the tourist destination. Before we make a video film, we must do a research and find out the USP of a place before we make a video film. We would also like to suggest that while placing order for video films on the state, the travel trade should also be consulted, because we are the ambassadors, the people who really sell Odisha outside, and it should not be the decision purely of the government. If the suggestions of the travel trade are also incorporated in while making the giving orders for the video films, the script, I think it will be helpful for the department. Sir, today mice tourism and medical tourism are really picking up in the country. We need to have brochures on mice and medical tourism and need to promote them. Odisha tourism has vibrant brand Odisha campaign, the way countries like Odisha should have. We showed 3 video films this morning on New Zealand, Thailand and Dubai. I think the Director of Tourism was also here. We need short 1-minute films like in line with those. Another suggestion that came, the air connectivity to Bangkok by Air India, which has been withdrawn, has given a shattering blow to the local tour operators. This needs to be revived. Another suggestion was Odisha should focus on domestic tourism without differentiating with international tourists. Government should act fast on allotment of land to investors and create roadside amenities for travelers. Private sector should play a more proactive role. Ownership of Odisha beaches must be decided, because the cleanliness of these beaches in Puri, Gopalpur, Chandipur, they are lacking. Another suggestion was the Shamuka project may please be taken up fast, as Puri is now getting overcrowded and the nearest place where crowd can be diverted is the Shamuka beach. Sustainability to hold the tourist interest be focused. We have to create infrastructure where we can sustain and hold the tourists for a longer time. Lord Jagannath could be an identity to promote Odisha. Suggestion came, the traffic management and visitor management at tourist destinations must be taken care. The traffic management in Bhubaneswar is become very difficult to move within the city from one place to another. The traffic has really grown and we need to take care. The other suggestion was branding and positioning Odisha as a premier tourist destination. Professor Surya Misra, marketing expert of KIT School of Management, mentioned branding should be integrated and connected, and positioning should be unique to Odisha. Promoting Odisha should be through a professional agency or a retainer basis. He mentioned it should not be on a project work unless we appoint a full-time retainer for promoting the digital marketing. It will not be fruitful for Odisha. That the frequent change of officers on the secretary level and director level by the government in the tourism department is another hindrance where which is hampering the continued growth of the tourism sector in the state. Another suggestion that was given in the morning, the logo of Odisha tourism should be replaced to match the USP of Odisha, of its beaches, temples, eco-tourism and all. So the government may think about this. Another suggestion was focus on local development and make people tourist friendly, especially in our temples, the Pandas and all. If they are more tourist friendly, I think we will get guests to our state. There was a suggestion for attracting the younger generation of tourism, organize rock band and music events and vintage car rallies, ensure cleanliness, sanitation and safety of visitors at tourist destinations. These were some of the suggestions that came in the session, first panel discussion session. Now, in the second panel discussion, some of the key suggestions were there should be more classified hotels. Today we are having the hockey games in another 2 months, and we do not have sufficient classified hotels and star category classified hotels and rooms. Suggestion was also there that fire and liquor laws should be more and more practical. Local taxes should be rationalized. Single window clearance for operation of tourism projects be in place. A suggestion from the IIT team was to produce more trained personnel for the hospitality sector. Commissioner of Police, Mr. Satyajit Mohanty mentioned we should create a body of tourist stewards with proper training to the tourism and travel management students and other youth as volunteers. Possibility of nightlife activities can be explored in consultation with concerned departments. Mr. Suresh Chandra Mahapatra, Additional Chief Secretary Forest, showed a wonderful presentation on the ecotourism, and community-based ecotourism activities can be promoted at more destinations. And we are glad that the Forest Department is aggressively promoting ecotourism, and more areas are opening up for ecotourism, which is highly in demand. And almost all the ecotourist lodges and managed by the Forest Department are going full. There was a suggestion from the former commercial director of Indigo. Destinations in Odisha should be promoted in tourism market, which will create both demand and supply. Mr. Suresh Nair, GM of AirAsia, mentioned tourism stakeholders in Odisha must come up to the expectations of suppliers like airlines. Attractive products must be created in Odisha to draw visitors from places connected by airlines. Special promotion campaigns at destinations connected by airlines to create awareness about tourist attractions in Odisha. Odisha tourism should identify potential markets to motivate airlines for connectivity. A suggestion that came up during this panel discussion that Odisha should also do road shows in Kuala Lumpur to attract people from Malaysia. And although the flight has started 1.5 years back, we are yet to do a road show in Malaysia. At places like Konark, tourist infrastructure such as a star category hotels on the Puri-Konark Marine Drive, proper hygienic toilets are necessary in the area. Mr. Debashish Kumar said rules relating to CRZ regulation should be relaxed for creating hotels on the beaches of Odisha. Development of infrastructure must go hand in hand with publicity campaigns. It is unfortunate that since last 4 years, the plan approvals at by the PKDA have stopped and no hotels have come up in that area due to certain CRZ regulations. Once the CRZ rules, regulations are taken up seriously, it will help in doing ease of business. Mr. Benjamin Simon, moderating the 4th session, said, tour operator representatives, develop innovative and unique tourism products other than the traditional ones. For example, the Cattle Island in Hirakud Reservoir, the only one of its kind in the world. Let us have a three-tier air connectivity connecting destinations within Odisha, like Nepal. MICE tourism should be promoted in a big way. Shamuka beach project, which is pending since last 20 years should come up fast. Mr. Devjit Datta, Chairman IATO West Bengal chapter, said Incredible India 2 campaign should organize separate regional promotion marketing roadshows within the Indian roadshow. All Eastern Indian states should come out with a common branding and united tourism policy framework. All states can combine with the South Asian package, which include Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Augment international air connectivity. PBIN motor vehicle policy should be popularized for cross-border tourism. I think we are thankful to Mr. Devjit Datta from coming all the way from Calcutta to give his presentation and suggestions here. Mrs. Asima Mehrotra, Director from the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, gave excellent suggestions and solutions to our members in detail, because that was one of the longest sessions we had, and very useful suggestions came out, some of which the eastern states should get in touch with Government of India for clubbing destinations to promote interstate tourism. Odisha can establish a Santiniketan type university to promote art and craft. Adopt a heritage concept of Government of India should be popularized for proper maintenance of the heritage sites in Odisha. There are many other suggestions which have come forward, but with the Minister's short time duration with us, we will make these suggestions and present it to the government later on. But for now, these are some of the highlights of the important suggestions that were made this evening. With these words, would like to thank the audience for having patience to listen to me.
Thank you, sir. Well, Mohanty had already welcomed Additional Chief Secretary and Development Commissioner Shri R. Balakrishnan, who has joined us, but we would like to, of course, traditionally welcome him with a bouquet. So I'll request Mr. Aziz Palit to please come up onto the dais and present a bouquet to him. Thank you. Could I now request Dr. Nitin Bhanudas Jawale, Director Tourism, to address the gathering. Like we all know, he was here with us in the morning as well, and we are really privileged that he's here with us for the valedictory session as well.
Honorable Minister Tourism, respected Development Commissioner Sir, Mr. Mohanty, and Mr. Kumar, and dignitaries present here. In the morning itself, I've given the whole idea about how tourism development in Odisha we are envisaging. We have got some very good inputs through this conclave, and on most of which we are already working. For example, we do understand that promotion is a very important aspect of tourism promotion. So we are working on that. We are coming up with some very good audiovisuals also. We are doing outdoor promotions, which most of you must be seeing in various parts of the country, and we plan to do it abroad as well. Regarding participation in national and international events, we are doing our bit, and we have not lost sight of the Southeast Asian region, which we have been connected recently. In fact, this whole connection with Southeast Asia, the tourism department has a major role to play, and we will play our role and we'll do our bit in establishment of connectivities in other regions as well. Already I've made a point that we as a people, I mean, tourism is something that's should come naturally to a state like Odisha with such a potential. It's all up to us, the people, how do we work out that. The stakeholders in tourism industry have the most important role to play. In fact, looking to government for everything might not be a good idea. Government will always do what it has to do, but a lot of things have to come from the stakeholders themselves. And we would expect that as a government agency, we would expect that stakeholders also give their best so that we can jointly put in efforts and place Odisha as an important tourist destination. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Could I now request Shri R. Balakrishnan, Additional Chief Secretary and Development Commissioner, Government of Odisha, to address this wonderful gathering.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister Tourism, Director Tourism, President HRAO, and other All of you, good evening, all of you. Minister also is in a hurry, he has to go for another couple of programs he has got. And I also have some commitments. I would put it very short. And I happen to, even I had come some little more delay also, I would certainly be knowing what J.K. Mohanty would be telling and what would have been discussed. These issues are very familiar to us. Then I would just reflect on some of the issues because the tourism is not a new subject we have been handling. The point is well taken that there has been a frequent change of the people who deal with the tourism. Of course, the director has been the continuity, and then there has been changes at the level of commissioner. It's a fact. But if you really look at it, there is a method in it. In fact, actually, the recent change was basically keeping convergence. If you note that earlier, tourism and culture, even now the department is same, but then the two different secretaries are there. So there was a time where the tourism secretary will be the culture secretary also. I was the tourism and culture secretary. I always felt that there was a greater amount of convergence because that if you do a festival, be it in Konark or anywhere, so you are converging that particular cultural aspect with the tourism. So now that we have a separate culture secretary to handle and tourism secretary to handle, the next best thing that would have happened in recent time with Odisha is the organizing Asian Athletic Championship followed by World Hockey League. Now the World Cup is coming. You must have noticed that as a tourism stakeholder, without spending much from the tourism budget has got a limitation. We have put a lot of investment in hockey. Not only in organizing it, for the first time, Odisha is the only state and came forward to sponsor the Indian team. And then all the Indian players, wherever they play, they are putting a jersey which reads that Odisha, India's best kept secret. And you know, it cost us a lot because we are going to put something around 25 to 30 crores per year. And over a period of 5 years, we'll be spending 130 crores. And then imagine when we went to Australia to the Gold Coast for the Commonwealth game, I was amazed to spot a child. She would be coming to a World Cup. I just spotted that what attracted me was that a little girl wearing a Odisha jersey. So I immediately stopped and went to her and then asked her who she is and all. Then immediately her father came. And sports minister was there, sports secretary was there. I called all of them, Vinil, Vishal and all. Then we just started talking to them. Then we took a photograph and they had come. That entire family is wedded to hockey. So they had come, her uncle and all had come to the World Cup Hockey League last year. So they said, sir, we were there with a group of 10 people. And then the child is wearing a Odisha jersey. We took a photograph. It all came in the thing. So then we felt so happy that it's going places. Then if we are putting this kind of money, we are supposed to encash that. So the only way to encash that is the convergence should be the articulation. It cannot operate in silos. There cannot be anything happen about Odisha that should result in more footfalls. So if that has to happen, then there has to be a convergence. Mr. Mohanty pointed out that there should be some kind of focus on logo. Because I know it too well. Because that we started with the Odisha Soul of India. When I was a director, MD, then chairman and the commissioner tourism, we spoke about Soul of India. Then after some time it became something else. Then it became something else. So today, whatever happened, even the flood cannot change the tag of God's own country from Kerala. That is fixed. Even God cannot change it. So that there is a recall value. Whenever you see Kerala tourism, then you will always recall that it's a God's own country kind of thing. Even somebody writes that he uses the word God's own country is floating. That means even somebody is writing a flood, he is using that particular tagline. So that means there is a recall value. So we are very much clear that if you are spending 130 crores in a jersey, if you are going to put the whole world, that particular tagline should stick. That the tagline should be such that whatever the sub-brand of tourism you promote, if it is ecotourism, Odisha's best kept secret will fit in. Because the ecotourism is exploring the unexplored areas, the deep forest and other area. So that's it's a less known secret. It's actually best kept secret. If you are exploring cultural aspect, it's a best kept secret. So then that can fit in. Then the tagline remaining the thing, then we can keep on changing the thematic logo. Ecotourism can put it. But the ecotourism should not try to sell something else. Ecotourism should promote and tell the Odisha's best kept secret, so that the money you spend result in over a period of time a greater recall value. Recall value. We should not get really be over, like suppose that Incredible India was promoted by Government of India. Then people say Incredible Odisha. No, that way, because Incredible India, that will fit in, because they will be spending a lot of money. The word incredible, the moment one person see, he will think about Incredible India. Howsoever you spend, you cannot market the Incredible Odisha kind of thing. So we have to define that way. So that way, the recent change of getting the sports department and the tourism getting involved has got some meaning to it. So, but however, the point is very well taken. There has to be continuity. I entirely agree. We had a recent discussion with the Honorable Minister also, because I had the fortune of being in the tourism continuously for about 4 years. That means director, MD, then the same department became the secretary without any gap, and the chairman of OTDC. It's over total period of something around 4 years. It gave a greater opportunity to develop the tourism in that context. I would again ask, many of you there, I think, I don't know, the morning must have been more people. How many of you have visited the craft museum, which has recently come in Odisha? How many of you? So people who have not seen are more. Okay, seen is less. I have gone 4 times after inauguration, including inauguration. Inauguration plus 3 times. I must have sent personally not less than 50, 60 people through me. That means I must have rang up to concerned secretary or somebody telling that I am sending so-and-so. Most of the people are opinion makers. We have one of the best tribal museum. The craft museum can give run for thing to any museum in this country. One of the best product. Then tourism is not about, tourism is about creating an experience. A person has to get a value for money. So that I keep telling that my best of the countries which I have visited is not the US or the Europe or the London. The best countries I always recall is a country like Bhutan, country like Cambodia and Vietnam, and that circuit. Then Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia circuit. And then the place like Bhutan, and then in the certain places in the middle. The reason being the experience for the money. You spend X amount of money, you get the experience. That means you go through it, no time is wasted, you go through it, you do it in such a way that the experience is very, very overwhelming you. Unless we create an experience, people coming to Odisha, Bhubaneswar and coming to craft museum is an experience. Tribal museum is an experience. Konark is an experience. So probably I am a person I've been advocating that the industry should sit together. The tour operators, the hotel owners, everybody has to create a market. We are talking right now you see that the Heritage Walk, Yegampra Walk, and the kind of events that are taking place in every Saturday, Sunday in the Craft Museum is amazing. You should go and see that. So if somebody comes to Odisha, if he is having access to that experience in Saturday, Sunday and other evenings in the Craft Museum, then people need to know. You have to market it. It should be inbuilt into every package. Whether the package is sold by A, B or C, that is immaterial. But if that experience is guaranteed and the artist also gets some money, he is viable and there is a guaranteed experience for me. But then right now it is not happening. So I feel that the way the government, the convergence is in articulation right now. So you have to synergize. And there is a lot more need to be done. We are very much aware of it. The number of hotels and the hotel rooms added is pathetically low. We need to really look at it. It's again a dichotomy. People who have been given land, things are not happening. There are people coming and telling that, no, you give land, I will make it happen. So both things are happening. We have given huge land to different brands, and we are also waiting for last 8-10 years. And things have not happened. And then it's both way it cuts. Then we need to really have a thing. And something very radical has to take place in the tourism sector. I think I am almost coming to in closer of my innings as an officer. But I personally reflect that I have been listening about the Samukha project when I was very young. And now I'm going to retire. I don't know. I will be very happy that when you actually ultimately do it, then if I am told when I am in Chennai, I will be happy to come and see that. Then we have to think why it is not happening. Something radical has to take place. Like in the sense of, like, say, skill development. Nobody would have thought that 2 years before that the ITI of Odisha would be taken seriously. All our ITI principals have gone to Singapore and underwent 3 weeks training. They all come back and given a presentation. That presentation can be shown in any IIT in India. Today, the skill development is a serious business. And we have such a huge building which is ready to be opened as a well-skilled city. So that means something radical has to take place, then only the Samukha project will come. Something has to come and make things happening. So there is a little disjointed, because that there is a silos. I agree that in the sense that in the giving clearances and all. But what has been done in recent time, you need to keep it in mind. Very simple it may sound. I must really appreciate the open mind Honorable Minister has got in tourism. At least last few years I have been seeing it as a development commissioner. The tourism things also coming. Giving away a subject is not an easy for a department. It's always a turf for a minister, for a secretary. And then ecotourism, because we have been handling for the decades, that we always felt that the forest department has to come fully on board. They have to come wholeheartedly. They are the owner of the forest. They are the owner of the property. Best viewpoints are available in their guest house. The best views are available with the forest people. If they don't cooperate, any amount of advertisement you give it, the ecotourism will not take place. We realized it. Today, just now, he used the word, Mohanty told that Suresh Mahapatra came and made an excellent presentation. Had we not handed over the ecotourism to the forest department, you do it, we promote it, that presentation would not have taken place. So then the tourism minister also happily agreed. That is what very important. So that means the subject has been taken away and put in the forest. Now the ecotourism is now making. And take, for example, it may sound small, but it's a very, very important, significant thing. Suppose the people who travel in the roads of Odisha, then they will have a woman or a lady or anybody, they may have a need to attend to the, go to a washroom. And then this has been, we have just been told this, at least we just go to some circuit house here and there and all. That's a problem. And simple, 50 wayside amenities have been created, 39 has been opened, 34 was opened by CM the other day. You go to that wayside amenity bund, it can be comparable to anything best in the country. In one go, because the responsibility of creating a wayside amenity and maintaining it has been now handed over to the owner of the road. It is not the tourism's job. Because the R&B, if they are building crores and crores worth of roads, and they are duty bound to maintain a good toilet. So this simple paradigm change, simple shifting of the responsibility has created a greater amount of accountability. But tourism, whether it's a oft-repeated thing, has a greater, it's a very, very understatement to say that tourism has got a greater potential. But in everything we try to articulate. Take, for example, Konark Festival. And last year, Ramli Ibrahim gave a brilliant performance. He is from Malaysia. And then in normal course in the Konark Festival, which the way it is architecture, they perceived as the purity of the art, and he would not have made that particular presentation. But then we all of us worked together, ensured that his presentation is there. Because why his presentation was there? Not because we know him. Because there is a plane from the Kuala Lumpur coming to Bhubaneswar. We want that AirAsia connectivity to be encased. So he come with the students who are the Chinese, Malay, Tamil, and all the people he come and delivers a program. 70 people came from Malaysia. And then so many articles have written in Malaysia about the Konark Festival. Malaysian televisions carried the Konark Festival. But imagine what is the benefit we got it. So now we are shifting the Konark Festival not merely as a cultural event, but as a tourism event. So like this, I am giving a very few example, and the bringing Asian, Air Asia, I think Bibonda played an important role in that. So then there's a lot of things are happening. The connectivity has improved, and the livability has increased, and then the good feel good factor about Odisha has increased. That's a very, very important. I remember that when I joined as a director of tourism, that's the day January 2000. The January 1 for 2000, the new millennium day, I took over as a charge of the tourism, because why I was made as a tourism secretary director was that because we had just had a super cyclone. I had just come from the district of handling in Jajpur. I was specifically told that we have to again bring back, because that the negative publicity about Odisha. We did a program there in Calcutta, because at that time there was some kind of taking away the material from the tourists, harassment tourists. We had a negative publicity. Today, there is hardly any negativism about Odisha. The negativism about Odisha in the 80s and 90s, we have seen it. Today, there's a Bhubaneswar, you can proudly say that's a smart city. It is not an overstatement, it is a pure statement, because it has passed the test of smart city. And then you are well acknowledged, it's a knowledge hub, it is a good roads, well maintained. So then you've got a lot of good things happening in the state, and it is your job to encash that. So there's this much I want to say that. Certainly the points told today were well taken. We will certainly, because tourism is one thing, is a passion. It's not a departmentalism. I am a tourism guy wherever I am, because whether I am a tourism secretary or not. Then why I have sent not less than 50 people to Craft Museum? Why I send not less than about 100 people to Tribal Museum? Why we send all the VIP, whosoever comes to Odisha now? If he is having some 3 hours with team, we are meeting in any Government of India secretary or any ambassador, anybody coming to Odisha, we suggest that, do you have 2 hours? Okay, why don't you go to Craft Museum? So we are basically the guide also. So once in the tourism thing, tourism is not a departmentalism, it's a passion. You have to identify yourself. So we feel proud about the thing, and then we must work on that particular marketing and the recall value of that, where we have put our money. That is one of the reasons we are trying to reposition Odisha as the India's best kept secret. It has got a lot of meaning. 62 type of tribe is a secret. Any number of craft and art and craft, it's a secret. The ecotourism is a secret. So it's a best kept secret which we need to explore. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Could I now request Honorable Minister, Tourism and Culture, Shri Ashok Chandra Panda, to address the gathering.
Namaskar. Good evening, friends. Those are attending the 3rd Tourism Conclave. With me on dais, Development Commissioner, Mr. Balakrishnan, HRAO Chairman, Shri J.K. Mohanty, Devashish Kumar, Director Tourism, Shri Nitin Jawale, and all delegates, friends from media. I welcome everybody and hope you must have been benefited by the deliberation in the morning session and also intermediate sessions. I was listening with rapt attention what Mr. J.K. Mohanty was reading out, the deliberations, recommendations in the conclave. I will of course respond and react to it. But before that, I will be very brief because I have to attend 1 or 2 more meetings. Before that, see, when I took over as minister in 2014, tourism and culture, I didn't know much about tourism or culture. My background in Doordarshan News for 25 years, of course, helped me. When as a newsman, in that capacity, I was in close liaison with Mr. Mohanty and also travel industry. That helped me also. But as a minister, I had to start from the beginning. before I began my day-to-day work, the policy was already there. Tourism policy was already there in 2013. Again, we enacted new tourism policy later on, and many aspects on tourism sector were taken care of in the new policy. I am thankful to HRAO and also other players in tourism industries that we could focus Odisha in many national events, and particularly we could focus Odisha in IOTO conference which was held in Bhubaneswar, in FHRAO Golden Jubilee function here in Bhubaneswar, and also Travel Bazaar, Odisha Travel Bazaar. We tried to have more close coordination with the industry, tourism industry, hoteliers, restaurants, and the tour operators. And department became very active with the arrangement of all these events in Odisha. Honorable Chief Minister Mr. Naveen Patnaik, who has very softness for the tourism and culture, he lent valuable support to us in all our activities. Even personally attended FHRAO Golden Jubilee IOTO conference, and in other places in India when such events took place, we always tried to focus the case of Odisha. Why Odisha should not be missed as a destination. What is the advantage in Odisha in tourism sector? We have a rich culture, and I am happy that I am also heading the department. It's question of blending. See, if we are thinking about branding, whether airport branding or the media branding, whatever it is, culture has also a strong impact so far as tourism potential is harnessed or exploited. We are currently thinking about a Kalamandal project which is being taken place very near to this hotel. And as Mr. Balakrishnan DC was saying, that we don't want to develop Konarak festival as a simply cultural festival, but is a tourism initiative. Similarly, in Kalamandal project, we are also planning in that way. Even Mr. Mohanty has proposed, why not to have a World Trade Center there in the Kalamandal project. So that is now the new objective, new initiative, new proposal, which we may consider. Similarly, the upgradation of tourism infrastructure. Both the footfalls, domestic and foreign footfalls in Odisha have gone up. Both foreign tourist footfall and domestic footfall also. So, in last 4 years, at least 300 crores have been spent in upgrading the tourism infrastructure around the state. We have 357 identified sites where we are trying to provide the basic minimum support to a tourist when he visits that place, whether it is Nusyannath Harishankar in Western Odisha, or Devmali in Koraput, or Chandansur in Baleshwar, or Central Odisha, Coastal Odisha, and all that. Not only that, as we are now, everybody is talking about ecotourism. I think there has to be more convergence between the tourism department and the forest department so as to take care of that. And particularly the coastal circuit, particularly we are now developing the coastal tourism. We are spending around 90 crores in Swadeh Darshan schemes. Work is on. So we are trying to take care of the coastal tourism. Similarly, the religious tourism also and Buddhist tourism. And fortunately, with the help of AirAsia and state government initiative, the air connectivity has been through to Kuala Lumpur, and unfortunately, the Air India's Bangkok operation is withdrawn. We sincerely hope the government of India should reconsider its resumption to Bangkok by Air India. And not only that, the Udan International Connective, which was recently, the few services have been sanctioned from Guwahati and also Vijayawada. Similar services should be offered to the Odisha for the international connectivity, at least to Dubai. At least to Dubai and Bangkok we need it, and to Colombo. I do not know, Mr. Suresh Nair, I think he has left. And AirAsia has promised, they should also consider our flight operation to Colombo and also Bangkok. State government is not reluctant. We are for all initiative, we will provide you all support, and definitely I think the tourism potential goes up in this state. And particularly Samuka project, everybody has talked about it. I sincerely wish, as a minister, I sincerely wish it should take up. At least there will be support to the hotel industry in the state. We have gone for the land bank in the new policy and hope that there should be more hotels, and when any such events take place, like World Cup hockey, which is coming very shortly, and tourism is providing all help to in that regard. So there should be more hotels in the state, at least to accommodate the guest. And the other one, particularly the suggestion that logo about the Odisha tourism, I agree with DC, Development Commissioner. I think we must think about it, we must do something. I think we have already initiated the process. And the branding I will talk. And about the safety of tourists, Mr. Mohanty was mentioning, we have tourist emergency fund. We have already parked the amount with all the collectors in case of emergency. And even Dhauli, which is a nearby Buddhist place and tourism space, we just want to have a free bus service to the Dhauli hilltop. At least just earlier there was accident when big buses were going off their accident. We introduced the small tempo travelers. Now everybody is utilizing that service. And light and sound show we have introduced in two places, in Konarak and Dhauli, which is going up very smoothly. We are planning to have it in Khandagiri also. And more important is, as a minister, I emphasize on tourist infrastructure upgradation in 357 sites so that domestic footfall goes up. And also, I want at least with Jati Nivas in many religious, near the religious shrines, so that we take care of the middle income group tourists, at least low budgeted tourists, those who visit Odisha. And particularly, thank God, at least I am thankful to Honorable Chief Minister that he has already increased the department budget, and culture is providing all support to the tourism, and we are planning any more tourism festivals in the state, at least just to have a blending between the tourism and culture. I think the suggestions made by Mr. J.K. Mohanty, or the suggestions, the recommendation in this conclave, which were read out by Mr. Mohanty, we will definitely deliberate on and we will try to take this on it. Thank you all. Bande Utkal Jal.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, the entire day we've been actually listening to suggestions, recommendations that all have been directed towards making the tourism sector the driving force of the future economy, which has been the theme of this Odisha Tourism Conclave 2018. And we are really fortunate that our Honorable Minister and government representatives have been here with us throughout the day and have given us assurances on a number of suggestions that have come forward. So would once again like to thank our Honorable Minister for taking out time for the valedictory session of this conclave. But of course, as is the practice, we would like to thank them by presenting them a token of appreciation in the form of mementos. So I'll request Mr. J.K. Mohanty to present a memento to our Honorable Minister, Tourism and Culture, Shri Ashok Chandra Panda. I'll also request him to present a memento to Shri R. Balakrishnan, Additional Chief Secretary cum Development Commissioner. And I'll request him to also present one to Dr. Nitin B. Jawale, Director Tourism. Yeah, could I now request Shri Debashish Kumar, MD Victoria Club Hotel Puri, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Diksha. Respected Sri Ashok Panda ji, Honorable Minister of Tourism, Government of Odisha. Respected Sri R. Balakrishnan, Sir, IAS, Development Commissioner, Government of Odisha. Sri N. Jawale, Director Tourism, Government of Odisha. Sri J.K. Mohanty, Sir, Chairman, HRAO, dignitaries of the dais and all participants of this Odisha Tourism, third Odisha Tourism Conclave. At the outset, I, on behalf of the organizing committee, express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Tourism Minister, Sir, Sri Ashok Panda ji, for gracing this occasion and providing valuable inputs and taking the recommendations of this tourism conclave further for its consideration. Thank you, sir. We are overwhelmed by the presence of Sri R. Balakrishnan, sir, IAS, Development Commissioner. Your presence has provided us a feel-good factor, sir, in the entire conclave, and you being the veteran in the field of tourism since long, your guidance will go a long way for the tourism development of the state. Sri Jawale, sir, you have been in the opening session as well, and has provided with the inputs, so does the policies of the government of Odisha, since which has taken place under in last 3-4 years, and it is sure that the tourism development in Odisha will leapfrog to a new height during the next few years, with the next few years. Sri J.K. Mohanty, sir, the Chairman HRAO, has been the backbone of tourism for the state since last so many years, and the successful organization of this third tourism Odisha conclave, along with IATO and other industry bodies, speaks volumes about your commitment and the selfless efforts for the tourism development in our state. Thank you, sir. I also thank on behalf of the organizing committee, Madam Mehratra from India Tourism, for being here and actively participating in the conclave. I thank all the other eminent dignitaries, panelists, participants of the conclave, and in this brainstorming exercise. And last but not the least, I, on behalf of the organizing committee, we express our indebtedness to the media, both print, electronic, social, for actively covering this conclave. I also thank our event partner, RR Events, Odisha TV, for live streaming this event, and our hospitality partner, Swosti Group of Hotels. I also, last but not least, I thank our MC Diksha for successfully and having a successfully presenting today this Odisha Tourism Conclave. Thank you all. Jai Jagannath.
Excuse me, there's a small announcement. Before we close this function, we wish to express our thanks and gratitude for the wonderful comparing by the anchor, Ms. Diksha Tiwari. May I request Honorable Minister to kindly present a memento to Diksha. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now I request Nimishika to please come and receive the award on behalf of the World Trade Center, Bhubaneswar. Thank you, Nimishika, for your wonderful help and assistance to us. Last but not the least, we are thankful to RR Events, Mr. Ramesh Barik, who has done this wonderful stage and wonderful event, the sound, light, everything. May I now request Honorable Minister to present a bouquet to the RR Events, Mr. Ramesh Barik.
I'd like to thank all our dignitaries on dais for gracing the valedictory ceremony, and thank you, Shri Mohanty, for this wonderful, very sweet gesture. And thank you to the audience, waiting very patiently the entire day. They've been with us for this conclave, so thank you all of them. Thank you, students, who have been with us throughout the day, and to all friends from the media fraternity as well. Thank you so much for making the third edition of Odisha Tourism Conclave such a huge success. Thank you.